Hi everyone, and just a quick video to conclude the course, to sort of say goodbye to you guys. All good things have to come to an end. Sorry to say, and I want to say that I've really enjoyed this class with you and taking this journey with you, and it's been a pleasure to interact with every one of you, and I wish all of you the best on your journey from here on onward. Um, I know enough about each of you to know what a great contribution you are to this world, how much the world sort of needs you and people like you. So thank you for doing the work you do. So are all religions true? Well, I'm a big fan of saying I don't know. Or alternatively, I'm a big fan of saying yes and no to questions, because ultimately I'm not sure that there are definitive answers to things. We've grown used to thinking that there are, and but life's more complicated than that normally. So there are legitimately different ways to look at this and these kinds of questions, and that doesn't mean we shouldn't ask them. Open-ended questions are the most interesting questions there are. So I'm a great fan of asking them, and then we see where we go when we try and answer them. And you all did great. You all have taken a shot at answering that question, and you all have good perspectives. You know, the way I see it, I guess my interest in sort of science and spirituality is reflected in, you know, how I see the human condition. The human condition is that we have this gift here, this mind, which is also a curse. It's both a gift and a curse. I mean, it gives us this ability to apparently know the world in a concrete way. And that is a gift and a curse, both. Because I think what you find when you delve into religion or the spiritual is that the concrete isn't never what it appears to be ultimately at heart. And the concrete is in fact not that concrete, and that really the majority of life, and perhaps all of existence, is non-concrete. The most significant components of our lives are non-concrete, having to do with love and relationship and that kind of thing. So the concrete is kind of a detail, really. But what I'm calling the non-concrete is from the perspective of our minds, from the perspective of this way of grasping the world that we've grown used to in our culture. The non-concrete appears insubstantial and something that one couldn't rely on. And so it's a journey. Then it becomes a journey to this journey from reliance on the concrete to reliance on the non-concrete, basically, to the ability to live in the mystery, and to actually not know in that concrete way. We all have other ways of knowing, but they don't satisfy this concrete way of knowing, really. One has to go through a process of almost like convincing it, and I find that I have to reconvince my mind again and again and again. Every day I have to reconvince my mind. My mind wants to grasp onto the concrete. So it's all quite a journey, but this human condition is why religions have made sense. The concrete is just the intuition, the knowing that there's more than meets the eye. One has that intuition, and hence begins a journey. One follows that journey if one follows that journey, one becomes increasingly convinced. that there's not only that there's more than meets the eye, but that more is more important than anything else, and in fact is the basis of everything. And but one becomes convinced on a certain level, at least my experience is on a certain level, and one has to, I find I have to be reconvinced all the time, which I think actually sort of gets easier and easier, but nevertheless that's a process, at least that I seem to be, and I don't know about you guys. And hence this, this we have this human condition, and we could call it the fall, as some of you have identified in Christianity, whatever. But we do it. That does seem to be the case. I think all of our lives have borne that out. So anyway, good luck to all of you on that particular journey from the concrete to non-concrete, and recognizing the true depth of life, what life is truly based on, what existence is truly based on, ever increasingly. So, it's interesting for me. I'm moving on. I'll be teaching a class that I haven't taught before next term, which is the class on meditation. So it's becoming a teacher of meditation, and I've done a fair amount of meditation practice, and I do teach it to some degree, but and I've been looking through the material of that course. I don't know if some of you have taken it or not. You probably have, but it's an interesting transition to make from this course, which has been overtly spiritual, right? Overtly about the sacred, the divine, in all of these world's religions. And then on to this incredibly, I guess, important topic of meditation, but in which my observation is that meditation in our culture has been secularized, and we now call it mindfulness or mindfulness practice, and it exists in hospitals and schools, and it's been divorced from the sacred. And I'm like, how can you do that? That doesn't seem possible to me. And so hence, I see an interesting struggle for me in teaching this class to see where it takes me, actually, in the sense that meditation, defining it is very difficult, but meditation as something separate from the sacred seems to me like something I would call a relaxation technique or something like that. But we'll see where my judgmentalness gets me as I teach the class. Obviously, it's a very worthwhile subject, and you can be sure that I will be emphasizing the connection to the sacred at every possible opportunity as we go through that, because it seems to me to be vital. And one of the reasons I could sit in meditation all day was the sense that I was connecting to something that was sacred, the sense that I was being with being, and hence that's where I wanted to be. I didn't have to force myself to do it. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I'm just letting you know where the AU journey is taking me next, and I hope your AU journeys are equally as interesting and challenging, and just best of luck to all of you, really, and I hope we all make it through this time in better than good shape. Okay, all right, bye everyone.